Picture this. She checks her phone for the 5th time in 10 minutes. Still nothing. The same man who could have been hers last week, who was just another option in her orbit, is now the only thought filling her mind. Not because he's perfect, not because he's different, but because he did something most men cannot do. He didn't chase. And in that silence, in that space, her desire multiplies. You've been told women want endless attention, constant messages, immediate replies, availability on demand. But here's the paradox. The more you give, the less you're worth. The more predictable you are, the less she feels fire. The faster you respond, the faster attraction dies. You've lived this. You text her instantly. You clear your schedule when she calls. You over-explain when she pulls away. And you think you're building connection. But what you're actually building is suffocation. From potential lover to emotional crutch. From mystery to furniture. Attraction doesn't feed on availability. It feeds on uncertainty. The not knowing. The gap between wanting and having. The space where imagination runs wild. That's the fuel of desire. And most men burn it away too fast. They can't tolerate silence. They can't hold their ground. They confuse desperation with devotion. And in doing so, they sabotage themselves before the story even begins. Here's the truth no one teaches you. Women hunt differently. While men chase directly, women test indirectly. They throw up obstacles. They pull back to see if you lean forward. They cancel plans to see if you'll beg. They create storms to see if you crumble. Most men fail loudly. She cancels Friday night. Some excuse, work, family, doesn't matter. And you text immediately. When are you free again? You call to make sure everything's okay. You try to reschedule as if your life hangs on one dinner. With every attempt to save it, you're actually destroying it. Because you're announcing, my schedule means nothing. My options mean nothing. You are my center, even when I'm not yours. And nothing kills desire faster than a man without his own gravity. Neediness isn't just words. It seeps through everything. Through the speed of your replies, through the length of your messages, through the tone in your questions. When you rush to fill every silence, you tell her, my worth depends on your attention. My calm depends on your mood. My frame collapses when you step away. That's not attraction. That's dependency. Now flip the script. She cancels. You don't chase. You don't plead. You don't beg for new dates. You simply continue. Your life goes on. Your plans remain intact. Your mood stays steady. And in that stillness, a question ignites in her mind. Why isn't he scrambling? Who else has his attention? Did I just lose access to something rare? That is the seed of obsession. Not games, not cruelty, just zero desperation. Women can smell the difference. They know when you're faking a busy life. They know when your options are fiction. But real abundance, real mission, real friendships, projects, goals, that radiates without you saying a word. And that reality creates silent charisma. You don't posture, you don't brag, you don't pretend. You simply exist in a way that says, my life is full. If you fit, great. If not, I continue unchanged. And that posture is magnetic. Mystery isn't lying, it's selectivity. She doesn't need to know you thought of her all day. She doesn't need to know you canceled plans hoping she'd call. She doesn't need to know you turned down other women. The moment she knows she has you completely, she stops desiring you fully. Mystery is the oxygen of attraction. Delay creates space. Space creates imagination. Imagination creates fire. And only men with an unshakable frame can hold that space without collapsing.
Now we reach the core, the point where games end and substance begins. Because the ultimate glue isn't distance, it's value. The man who doesn't cancel the gym for a maybe. The man who doesn't abandon his mission for approval. The man who integrates romance into his life but never replaces his life with romance. That man radiates something beyond attraction. He radiates sovereignty. He doesn't need her, he chooses her. And every woman wants to be chosen, not clung to. When you're with her, you're truly there, phone down, mind engaged. But when you're gone, you're not obsessing. That is total presence, being fully in the moment without collapsing outside of it. And that's rarer than good looks or money. Women will test, always, not maliciously, but biologically. It's evolution stress testing your stability. And every test asks, will he lose himself if I push? Will he chase if I pull? Will his calm depend on my chaos? Most men fail, but the man who passes smiles when she withdraws, holds his line when she guilt trips, remains fire when she goes cold. That man proves what every storm is secretly measuring, that his frame is unshakable. Here lies the paradox. The less you need her, the more she needs you. The less you chase, the more she pursues. The more options you have, the more she wants to be the one you pick. Because women don't crave men who collapse into them. They crave men who stand firm beside them. Men whose presence is a privilege. Men whose attention must be earned. This is not manipulation. This is evolution. This is the psychology of value. Picture it. She withdraws, you stay calm. She guilt trips, you refuse the weight. She goes hot and cold, you remain steady heat. That is not indifference. That is self-validation. That is sovereignty. That is what makes you the rare man, the man she cannot control, and therefore the man she cannot forget. So ask yourself, are you chasing or are you choosing? Are you reacting or are you anchoring? Because in the end, women don't want to be chased. They want to be chosen by a man who doesn't need to chase anyone. That's the paradox. That's the power. That's the challenge she cannot resist. Comment below, which test have you seen most in your own life, and how did you respond? Because your story could open another man's eyes. And remember, mystery fuels attraction. Abundance kills desperation. Boundaries create respect. Build the life. Hold the frame. Live in total presence. And watch how quickly you become the man every storm fails to move.